Michigan Stadium scoreboard replacement, Jeff Chattis.
I am going to call on Rob Radermaker, COO of Athletics, to provide us some background.
Thank you, Board of Regents, President Coleman, Executive Officers, for having me. I'm here to talk about the Michigan Stadium and some video and production upgrades associated with that facility, as well as some of our other facilities within athletics. So if you can go to the first slide, please. I'm going to discuss the scope of this, which really focuses on aging technology that's become incredibly difficult to maintain, source replacement parts, and we have production equipment that we no longer support the video quality required today. And so the first part of this project is focused on the production room upgrades. Within Chrysler Arena in the back of house, there's actually space dedicated to 3 production studios, 3 separate ones that drive 3 separate shows at one time. And that production room serves multiple athletic facilities, not just the stadium, not just Chrysler, but it also serves across our whole campus, field hockey, Yost, soccer, indoor track, baseball, and softball. So it drives many facilities within our space. In addition, most of the content that we produce for the Big Ten Network, as well as our digital media platforms for all of our teams, is produced there. And so it's a pretty important space. And that piece of the project is going to cost $8 million, is what the estimates have come in at. The second part of this is associated with Michigan Stadium. In the 2 video boards we have 2 of them at the north and south end, and we will be replacing those. We will be going larger, and we anticipate that to be approximately $12 million of the 41 that we were asking for. Also associated is the audio system within the entire stadium. It is not just a piece at the north end that's associated in the video board, but it's on the concourses and at the gates that we use for public safety announcements and those sorts of things throughout the game, not just what you hear inside the bowl. And so we're also replacing that as part of this project. Next slide, please. Thank you. Right now, within the current boards, there's a catwalk that we use for access from a safety perspective to service the boards. It actually doesn't service all of the boards, and so we will be modifying that to not only give us full access, but also for the new larger enclosure that's associated with these larger boards. And so that is approximately $4 million. And then the associated infrastructure, site work, and design fees that are typical of any project, we're estimating to be $12 million. And there's some pieces of this associated with the boards of columns and foundations as well that is in that line item. Our source of funding for this, we plan to fully fund this up front, okay, with athletic department gifts that are restricted for capital purposes, right? So we will not be touching our operating budget with this, and it's all gift funds. And we don't anticipate any additional operating expenses with this project or additional personnel needed to run the new technology. All of our associated people that we currently have in place are capable and ready and excited to run the new scoreboards. So,
Okay, thank you, Rob. Is there a motion to approve? I'm going to have a comment. Can we do the questions? Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second? Okay, now, any comments? And I think Regent Illich had a comment, and then I'll call on you, Regent Anker.
Thank you, President Coleman. A couple comments. Thank you, Rob. It was a great presentation. I first just want to thank the donors that are funding this infrastructure. It's phenomenal that we are so fortunate to be able to have such generous donors to do this on our behalf. I also just want to reiterate a little bit of my experience in sports and with stadiums. And I can't begin to tell you the enhancement of a scoreboard and the infrastructure and the new technology around it, how much it enhances the fan experience. It will be like night and day. I'm still on my wish list is a ring, which also is a lot of fun, and I'm hoping we get to that eventually. But I also think that the clarity of the announcements, because we're in such a big stadium, it's going to make it a lot easier to make announcements and to be really clear. To me, this is an investment in our fans and our fan experience, and it is a reinvestment in our infrastructure. I also want to say that it is quite typical to update this kind of infrastructure in a sports arena because the technology, and I know you know this, Rob, but for those that may not be in sports as you know, on an everyday deal, the technology is just changing so fast. It's ever changing. And so we have to really stay present with it. And so I think this is a very good investment. Thank you.
Thank you.
And reinvestment.
Thank you, Regent Illich.
Thank you.
Regent Acker?
Thank you, President Coleman. Regent Illich stole most of what the questions I was going to ask, but I, along the lines of what Regent Illich was talking about, a lot of this is investment in technology and infrastructure and the institution of Michigan Stadium and the athletic campus. When was the last time we upgraded the production room?
It was, I believe, 2013 as part of the Chrysler renovation when we did that project.
Okay, so we have decade-old technology and
Correct.
that needs to be updated. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, yes, Brown.
So much. I'm obviously like many people that saw the first headline, which simply said scoreboard and a price tag. I've now come to understand that this is much broader, much deeper, and positively affects many, many of our sports teams, men's and women's. And so thank you for that clarity. It's a wonderful upgrade. And just again to point out that financially, these are being paid for by gifts, and the athletic department overall historically is one of the very few in the country collegiate athletic departments that is actually self-funded and actually pays money back to the academic side of the house general fund. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We now have to have a vote. So all in favor? And opposed, same sign. Thank you very much.